Khan. All praises to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom to the 12 tribes of Israel. This is Captain Kyron from the Light of Zion. Hallelujah.
Khan, this is Captain Zamar. Yahabashim Yahashah Barakatham to the 12 tribes of Israel scattered abroad. Hallelujah.
Khan. All praise to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom to the 12 tribes of Israel. The water for everybody for tuning in. I hope everybody that tunes in is sharing, and subscribing, commenting, sending the videos to your brothers and sisters. I heard about what's happening with Kyrie, Kanye, and now Dave Chappelle, right? So continue to help us push this truth. Share to drop that link, right? So we can be able to wake up our people and enlighten our people to who we really are. And that's God's chosen people, the children of Israel, right? So before we jump into it, right? I'm going to open up with the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17. All right, the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Honorable One Yahushua, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Him. So everything that we do it to honor the Most High, to make sure His reputation is upheld, right? And we show the Most High His glory and His reverence in anything that we do, right? By Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. So I'm going through YouTube when I see this dude named Barrel Solomon, right? And I'm going through the man's videos, and I kind of just want to dissect this video, right? He has a following, and I wanted to use this opportunity to pretty much break down the different types of Jews, right? Because there's the same way Christianity has 41,000 different denominations, right? Jews, right, or Judaism has multiple different denominations as well, right? Not all Jews are the same way not all Hebrew Israelite camps are the same, right, and things like that. There's different theologies within that practice, and I wanted to kind of shine light to that. This is going to give everybody understanding of what category we fall under, right? Who these different types of Jews are, right? So we're gonna start this video, and we're gonna go and get into it. All right, come on, 1 second. 1 second. All right, all praises. All right, so we're gonna start this video. All praises. All right, fair use.
This is a hot take from an Orthodox Jewish man.
Pause right there. Okay. He said, this is a hot take from an Orthodox Jewish man. Now, I want everybody to understand, what does it mean to be an Orthodox Jew? As you realize, the brother has the cup holder. I mean, he has the little hat, waffle, the tiny hat, right? The waffle on his head, right? and we're going to pretty much break down what exactly is his doctrine. What does it mean to be a quote unquote Orthodox Jew, right? What is on his head? What do they have in their head? Why do they keep wearing that, right? And we're going to pretty much break it down through the spirit to pretty much, give an understanding of like these different types of Jews, right? So consider him an Orthodox Jew. Now, Khan, Cat Baba Gusha, you can read that you can start from Orthodox Judaism, Baba Gusha.
Khan, hold on, I gotta put on my glasses.
Okay, Khan. No, I know, Khan. Let me. I might have to zoom in a little bit more for these.
Yeah, if you can.
Let me try to see if I can get Khan. Hold on, right quick. Right. So the brother says, I'm an Orthodox Jew. Right. A lot of people say, like, we watched that that interview with what's that man, Lex Friedman. I'm not sure what he is, but he may be an Orthodox Jew just off of the fact that he has the MC Hammer fit on, right? He has the suit, right? So we're going to pretty much see exactly these different type of Jews and these different denominations in the Jewish community, right? So now Orthodox Judaism, right? Orthodox Judaism, and we're going to break that down through the spirit, most I willing, right? Cap, that's good.
Khan, I got you.
Khan.
All praises. Okay, Khan. So Orthodox Judaism is the collective term for the traditionalist and theologically conservative branches of contemporary Judaism. Theologically, it is chiefly defined by regarding the Torah, both written and oral, as revealed by the Most High to Moses on Mount Sinai and faithfully transmitted ever since.
Right.
Orthodox. Oh, go ahead.
Khan, all praises. So we see Torah both written and oral. We have to make sure that's very clear because there's a big distinction between these, these different, communities, written and oral. Right. So you have the written law that was given by Moses, that was given to Moses, that Moses received, that was given to the children of Israel. Then you have the oral laws, right? The oral laws out that goes into the rabbinic literature, right? The Talmud, and these different books that are pretty much influenced and written by certain rabbis that they deem as authoritative as the law itself, right? So, and then you can jump down to, all right, Khan, you can keep going on that.
Khan. Orthodox Judaism therefore advocates a strict observance of Jewish law, or halakha,
Khan,
which is to be interpreted and determined exclusively according to traditional methods, and in adherence to the continuum of received precedent through the ages. It regards the entire halakhic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Halakhic system as ultimately grounded in immutable revelation and beyond external influence. Key practices are observing the Sabbath, eating kosher, and Torah study. Key doctrines include a future Messiah who will restore Jewish practice by building the temple in Jerusalem and gathering all Jews to Israel, belief in a future bodily resurrection of the dead, divine reward and punishment for the righteous and the sinner.
Right. So it says, most important, it says key doctrine include a future Messiah. Now you see they don't identify Yahawashi as that Messiah. They may believe in a Messiah, but they don't believe that the Messiah that's written in the quote unquote Second Testament is the Messiah that was going to help gather the children of Israel back, to the Most High. So that's pretty much, in conclusion, the Orthodox Judaism, right? Main things, they believe in the oral Torah, right? They believe in a Messiah, but not necessarily the Messiah of the New Testament, right? And they also, believe in that doctrine of the kippah, right? The kippah. So now we're also going to go into that as well, the kippah, or the thing that they have on their head, right? So now the kippah, right? I'll read it. It says, a kippah is a brimless cap, usually made of cloth, traditionally worn by Jewish males to fulfill the customary requirement that the head be covered. It is worn by all men in Orthodox Jewish communities during prayers and by most Orthodox Jewish men at all other times, right? So this is something that's a custom of the Orthodox Jewish community, right? Now, when you look at the authority of where it comes from, we see that it says in the Talmud, right? It says, I'll just highlight this right here. 1 second. It says, the Talmud states, cover your head in order that the fear of heaven may be upon you. Right? Rabbi Huna ben Joshua never walked 4 cubits, 6 feet, with his head uncovered. He explained, because the divine presence is always over my head. This was understood by Rabbi Yosef Cairo in the Shulchan Aruch. Now, the Shulchan Aruch is pretty much a compilation of all 613 laws. According to the Shulchan Aruch, they pretty much break down the laws from, if I'm not mistaken, they say there's 248. They break that down how there's 248 thou shalt and 365 thou shalt not. So on the Shulchan Aruch, it pretty much gives a detailed explanation of these different laws that apply today, and that makes up that 613. That's where you get the Shulchan Aruch. I was going into the Shulchan Aruch. It's a lot of, it's a hard read. It's very difficult to read, not in regards to the language, but just the things that's being said. It's not necessarily coherent because it's not really going into what you want to see. Like, okay, I'm looking for the 248 laws that shall apply and the 365 laws Salakia. So according to this book, it states that there's 248 thou shouts and 365 thou shalt nots. According to this book, I'm expecting to read it and look at and kind of see basically pretty much a chart of those different things, and it's not like that. It's a completely different breakdown. If brothers and sisters want to kind of look into that, you can, but it's a difficult read. But if you take the time to kind of look into it, you probably get something from it. According to the Shulchan Aruch, they believe that only 369 can be kept, meaning that 40% of the mitzvah or commandments are not possible to perform. So that's in that book right there, right? So obviously we don't subscribe to that, and obviously we see that the origins of this kippah is not somewhere you can find in the Torah. It's something that's being referenced and substantiated through the Talmud and different rabbis, right? So we see that it's not something that's necessarily substantial. Now, they say that Tanakh implies that covering with one head is a sign of mourning. They went to 2 Samuel 15 and 30, where David is praying with his head covered. Then it says Jeremiah 14, they covered their heads. But that's not enough. That's not substantiating the kippah, right? Obviously, there's head coverings, but that doesn't substantiate this term right here. It says that such as wearing a kippah is described as honoring God, right? They're saying that's pretty much honoring God when you wear a kippah, right? I don't know if we see that in the Torah, all right? You might be, I don't see that, right? I don't see that in there, but that's pretty much where you get Orthodox Judaism. That's pretty much a brief summary of Orthodox Judaism and the kippah, the history of the kippah, right? Now that we're on the subject of these different denominations in the 13th tribe community, we fall under a certain category as well. Now, right? So we would be considered in ancient times Karaites, right? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Let me pull that up right quick. Karaites. Okay, now Karaite Judaism, okay, is a Jewish religious movement characterized by the recognition of the written Torah alone, as it is the supreme authority in halakha and theology. Karaites maintain that all of the divine commandments handed down to Moses by God were recorded in the written Torah without additional oral law or explanation. Right? That's all we need. Right? Unlike mainstream rabbinic Judaism, who considers the oral Torah codified in the Talmud and subsequent works to be authoritative interpretations of the Torah. Karaite Jews do not consider the written collections of the oral tradition of the Midrash or Talmud as binding, meaning we do not adhere to that, right? So we would fall under that category of solely looking at the Torah as the supreme authority without any additional additional explanation from rabbis or the Talmud and things like that, right? Not only that, we would in a more ancient time, we would also fall under the category of being an Ebionite, right? Now, an Ebionite is what we call a Messianic Jew, right? What they call a Messianic Jew or Messianic Israelite. Now, I'll just kind of read this here. It says, Ebionites, and this also was cut to a lot of people that say, oh, yeah, all the Jews rejected Christ, all the Jews rejected Christ. That's just not accurate, right? Salaki, let me get the book of John, chapter 10, verse 42. Right? The book of John, chapter 10, verse 42. All right.
This is the book of John, chapter 10, and verse 42. And many believed on him there.
And read that again.
And many believed on him there.
Right. That's simple as that.
Oh, God.
God, that's simple as that. Many believed on him. They will sit there and tell you that nobody believed. All the Jews rejected him, but the scripture says many believed on him there, right? There was many Jews that believed in the Mashiach Yahawashi, right? And the classic verse that a lot of Christians love to use, they say, oh, and you shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free. Yahawashi was talking to Jews when he said that, right? Let's get the book of John, chapter 8, verse 8, and you can start at verse 30. Right, the book of John, chapter 8, verse 30. Mm-hmm.
This is the book of John, chapter 8, and verse 30. As he spake words, many believed on him.
It's simple as that. As he spake these words, many believed on him. Right? But look what it says in verse 31. Keep going.
Con, then said Yahushua to those Jews which believed on him,
No, no Jews believed on him. Right?
right. Then he said, then said Yahushua to those Jews which believed on him, if ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed.
Right.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Right. How do you get around that? Right. They go to this verse all the time, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. He was talking to the Jews when he said that, the Jews that believed on him. Right. So that whole doctrine of all the Jews rejected him, that literally makes no sense.
Because they quit to say that. They always say that. Oh, well, the Jews believe it, so he gave it to the Gentiles, the promise to the Gentiles. But it doesn't say that nowhere in the text.
Exactly.
They're misinterpreting what the whole Gentile thing. We all know that, but
right. Con. So it's like that we see as so many scriptures that show you that there were Jews that believed. You go to Luke 19, right? You talk about Zacchaeus. He was a Jew that believed on him. He received him joyfully, right? So when you talk about the Ebionites, right? The Ebionites, it says the Ebionites, meaning the poor ones, that's not off, right? Let me get the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 32, because now they're called the poor ones. That's very interesting, because we see in Isaiah 14 and 32 how the Most High references Israel, right? So let me get the book of Isaiah, chapter 14. So it says Ebonium, meaning the poor or the poor ones. Let's see the scripture right here. This is kind of brought to my kind of connected to that. Isaiah 14 and 32, Baba Gashah.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 32. What shall one answer the messengers of the nation, that the Most High, that the Most High hath found Zion, and the poor of his people shall trust in it.
Right, and the poor of his people shall trust in it. So we see that can also allude to the Ebionite understanding of them being called the poor ones, right? Now it says the Ebionites embrace an adoptionist Christology, thus understanding Yahushua of Nazareth as a mere man who by virtue of his righteousness in the following the law of Moses was chosen by God to be the messianic prophet like Moses. A majority of Ebionites rejected as a majority of the Ebionites rejected as heresies the Orthodox Christian beliefs in Yahushua's divinity, virgin birth, and substitutionary atonement, right? And therefore maintained that Yahushua was born the natural son of Joseph and Mary, sought to abolish animal sacrifices by prophetic proclamation, and died as a martyr in order to move all Israel to repentance. So we see it's a couple of bones in there, right? But the main thing I wanted to point out was that there was Jews that believed in the Messiah, right? There was Messianic Jews that actually believed in the Messiah. Now, the doctrine, I don't 100% subscribe to, but just to show the historical record of there's actually Jewish Christian sects, quote unquote. Okay. So now we're going to continue on that. So I think there's another form of Judaism I wanted to get into. Let me see here. Okay, then you have let's see here, Hasidic Judaism, right? Let me pull that up. Right, Hasidic Judaism. Right, these are the dudes that be having the they be having those. Let me show you real quick. Hold on. Pull that up right quick. Hasidic Judaism. Now these folks look kind of crazy. Hasidic Judaism. These right. You see that? Yeah, with these on them hats. Yeah, see, that's not the kippah no more.
So
They got
that's not Orthodox. I thought they were Orthodox. So that's Hasidic.
That's the thing.
Okay,
right. These are Hasidic. See, it's like they pretty much look the same though, right? They both got the fit on, right? They both got the fit on, but I guess the Hasidic, I don't know if the big difference is them hats that they wearing, but so all right, so we see Hasidism, sometimes called Hasidism, or also known as Hasidic Judaism. Let's see. Let me see where they define it. All right. One second. Okay, so, movement founded by Israel Ben Azar and the determinism when the second group develops here.
Separated from
all right, so distinctions. Okay, let's go here. Okay, just trying to get to the point here.
There's a lot of information.
Yeah, for real. I guess I'll just go into the etymology. Okay, the term Hasid is meaning pietist, and piety have a long history in Judaism. The Talmud and other old sources refer to the pietists of old, who would contemplate an entire hour, who would contemplate an entire hour in preparation for prayer. Um, I guess if I'm understanding this right, they're saying that they contemplate an entire hour in preparation for prayer.
Right.
Okay.
Which sounds crazy, but okay.
Right. The phrase denoted extremely devoted individuals who not only observed the law to its letter, but performed good deeds even beyond it. Adam himself is honored with the title Tractate Yeruvin. Rabbi Meir Adam was a great Hasid, having fasted for 130 years. The first to adopt the epithet collectively were apparently the Hasidim in the Second Temple period Judea, known as Hasidians. After the Greek rendering of their name, who perhaps served as a model for those mentioned in Talmud, the title continued to be applied as an honorific for the exponentially devout. In 12th century Rhineland or Ashkenaz, in Jewish parlance, another prominent school of aesthetics named themselves Hasidim to distinguish them from the rest. Later research employed the term Ashkenazi Hasidim.
Interesting.
All right, Ashkenazi Hasidim, right. Were a Jewish mystical aesthetic movement in the German Rhineland during the 12th and 13th centuries. Okay. Jewish mysticism. That goes a lot into that Kabbalah, right?
Right.
In the 16th century, when Kabbalah is an esoteric method discipline and school of thought in Jewish mysticism. A traditional Kabbalist in Judaism is called a Mekubal. The definition of Kabbalah varies according to the tradition and aims of those following it, from its form in medieval to its later. So that's all. We don't deal with that. We don't deal with the Kabbalah. We don't deal with the Talmud, right?
No mysticism.
Right. No mysticism.
That's witchcraft.
Right? That's witchcraft. Let's see here, right? So we see Hasidic Judaism is also another denomination as well. So that's pretty much. There's multiple denominations, but I wanted to kind of just touch on those different things, right? So let's go back to this video here. All right, let's go back to this video.
And on the whole Kyrie Irving and Kanye West saga, at the end of the day, what did Kyrie Irving share? He shared a documentary about how the blacks are the real Jews. And I got to tell you, as a Jewish person, does it offend me? It doesn't really offend me at all, to be honest with you, for a whole myriad of reasons. First of all, I'm totally comfortable with who I am. So anybody could stand up and say that they're whoever. It doesn't shake me, it doesn't faze me. That's number one. Number two is, I think that it's a good thing, to be honest with you. I know what Judaism stands for. So the real question is what is Judaism? Not who is a Jew. That we could debate forever, and there's no real end to that debate. But what is Judaism at the end of the day? Let's get into that, because
okay, so and this is his thing. He's saying, let's get into Judaism, right? This is the most important thing. Not who's a Jew and who's the 10 lost tribes, right? Who's Reuben, who's Simeon, who's Levi. No, let's deal with Judaism, right? Let's see how he's going to try to break it down or give an explanation of what Judaism actually is, right?
Because that's at the core of what it is. And if black people are claiming that they're the real Jews, well, great. Let's talk about Judaism, all right? Judaism started at the foot,
quote unquote,
of Mount Sinai.
Now let me get the book of Nehemiah chapter 9 verse 13, because he said Judaism started at the Mount of at Mount Sinai, right? Let me get the book of Nehemiah chapter 9 verse 13, Baba Kasha. We're gonna pull up this definition of Judaism as well. 1 second.
Con, I could read that for you.
Baba Kasha.
Con, this is of Nehemiah chapter 9 and verse 13.
Right.
Down also upon Mount Sinai, and spakest with them from heaven, and gavest them right judgments and true laws, good statutes and commandments.
Right. So the Most High gave us statutes and commandments, right? He didn't give us there's nothing there that's referred to as Judaism, right? But I'm going to pull up this definition, right? And mind you, he's an Orthodox Jew, right? So he believes in the oral law, right? That was not spoken in Nehemiah 9 and 13, right? So let's pull this up right here, right? Judaism. Oh, Cap dropped off. Let me put it back in here. All right. Con, I got you. I brought you back up, Cap.
Con, the water king.
Con, all praises. All right, Con. So Judaism. Judaism. Let me pull up my screen, make it a little bit, closer. Okay, Judaism is an Abrahamic, monotheistic, and we can get into that as well. We understand the scriptures. The Bible is not monotheistic, and ethnic religion comprising the collective religious, cultural, and legal tradition and civilization of the Jewish people. It has its roots as an organized religion in the Middle East during the Bronze Age. Modern Judaism evolved from Yahwism, okay, the religion of ancient Israel and Judah, by the late 6th century BC, and is thus considered to be one of the oldest monotheistic religions. Judaism is considered by religious Jews to be the expression of the covenant that the Most High established with Israelites, their ancestors. It encompasses a wide body of texts, practices, theological positions, and forms of organization. The Torah, as it is commonly understood by Jews, is part of the larger text known as the Tanakh. The Tanakh is also known to the secular scholars of religion as the Hebrew Bible, and to Christians as the Old Testament. The Torah's supplemental oral tradition is represented by later texts such as the Midrash and the Talmud, right? Mind you, I'm not saying every denomination believes in the Torah, in the Talmud, or in the Midrash, but when you talk about Judaism, most people subscribe to those teachings that's written in the Talmud, right? They believe in those things. They believe that the things that the rabbis were speaking is as equal authority to what the Most High gave to Moses, right? Although Torah can be used as a general term that refers to any Jewish text that expands or elaborates on the original 5 books of Moses, representing the core of the Jewish and spiritual and religious tradition. Let's see here. Let me see here. Right. So this is pretty much Judaism in a nutshell, right? So the man in the video is pretty much saying, well, this is what we really have to focus on, right? Judaism, right? Let's go back to this video here.
Right. So God came down and brought the 10 commandments to the Jewish people at the foot of Mount Sinai, and then the Jewish people had a responsibility to follow that and also bring the concept of monotheism, the concept of one God, to the rest of the world.
Now, I don't know where that's demonstrated at, how the Israelites were responsible for bringing the concept of monotheism. I don't know if he's talking about the Shammai, right? But we can go into that as well, about how the Bible's not monotheistic, right? That's a class in itself. But if you want to do some more research in that, right, you have to look into monolatry and henotheism, right? Those are different terms that's in the scriptures, right? We don't consider the scriptures as monotheistic. But we're going to keep going on that.
So that's what it is we're talking about. Who stood at the foot of Mount Sinai? Debate that for the rest of your lives. But let's talk about that actual the Ten Commandments. Let's talk about the Torah. Let's talk about that book. Let's talk about what's in it, all right? Because that's what counts. At the end of the day, that's what God wants from us. That's what God wants from humanity. So in that book were things like don't steal, don't kill, don't murder, respect your parents, be just, set up a court system, don't torture animals, be a good person, don't do to other people what you wouldn't want done to yourself, and to worship one God. Don't have multiple gods, don't have deities, don't bow down to idols. Don't profane God's name. Don't say, odd, damn it, right? Which people really like to say. And that at the core, at the essence,
What?
what Judaism is all
Did he say don't say God damn it?
Yes.
is what
Is God
Judaism is all
condemning?
Hold
about.
on.
When did that?
And that at the
Right.
core, at the essence,
Right. That's not taking the Most High's name in vain. Right. That's not taking the Most High's name in vain. Yeah, that's I don't know what scriptures he's referring to. Right.
essence is what Judaism is all about. It's about bringing godliness to the world, bringing the concept of one God to the world, making the world, this physical world that we live in, making this place out here a place where God feels comfortable to be. In Hebrew, it's called a dira betachtonim, a place
What?
where God can feel comfortable in this world.
A
Imagine
place where God can feel comfortable. So the Most High Himself has to feel comfortable in the world that He created Himself, right? Come on,
Is this the
man.
part of the oral tradition? Because
Right,
I never read that
right.
before.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that in there. I didn't see that in there, right?
dira betachtonim, a
No, I was just saying these people are sick. It's so funny how, once we start finding out the truth, they try to make it look like everybody's equal and these are all laws that are given to all humanity. But
Right.
I just remember this. Right? I'm gonna pull this out real quick. This is Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 21. Now, mind you, right,
Bring it out. Bring it
scriptures.
out.
These are scriptures that they've been reading way before we knew we were Hebrews.
Right.
These are people that own meat shops and all type of stuff, right? They're selling to us. But this is what the Bible says about other people who they thought we were. It says, verse 21, ye shall not eat of anything that dieth of itself.
Right.
Thou shalt give it unto the stranger that is in thy gates, that he may eat it, or thou mayest sell it unto an alien, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not see the kid in his mother's milk. So pretty much what it's saying, like, if something die of itself, you can't eat that thing, right? It probably died of some type of disease or ailment in its body, and it says the children of Israel shall not eat that. You give that to the strangers to eat, and that's what they've been doing to us, right? They're trying to make it seem like, oh, everybody should love everybody. Listen, man, that's not what the scriptures say. There's different treatments for different people.
That's right. So now that you brought it up, it kept, if one of the Amalekites, right, if one of the Khazars, right, the Ashkenaz asked me, say, hey, can I borrow $50? I could say I need $500 back. Right? We could do that.
Right.
We could do that. If that's the light that we bring into these people, right, to the other nations, right? Let me get that in Leviticus chapter 25, verse 36, right quick. Right, because to our brethren, we can't wax our brethren like that.
Right.
But to these other nations, oh yeah, I need that. What do they call it? Interest. I need all that.
Con.
And this
All
is
right,
about knowing the laws of God, because this is what creates that code of conduct between the children of Israel. This is why Jewish people are prosper, because they took our book and they applied the code of conduct that was given to us to their people. So think about it. If they're applying the Torah and they're that successful, imagine what we could do with it. It's simple laws like something like you about to bring out. Go ahead, Doc.
Con. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 25. Con, you got it, King.
Con, this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 25 and verse 36. Take thou no usury of him or increase, but fear the Most High.
Start at verse 35 up with the show.
Con, this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 25 and verse 35. If thy brother be waxen poor, and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him. Yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee. Take thou no usury of him, or increase, but fear thy power, that thy brother may live with thee. Thou shalt not give him thy money upon usury, nor lead him thy victuals, nor lend him thy victuals for increase. I
Right.
am the
So we
most high
see
your
this
power.
is Khan. So we see this is what is established between a brother that's a part of your community, a part of your nation. Now let's see how this is applied to the Goyim. Right. Let's get the book of Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 19. He's
Khan.
really trying to make it seem like this, like there's just, oh, we're gonna be all one following the law, and we're all gonna be on the same page and things like that. Like, come on, man. Right? Give me that Deuteronomy 23 and 19 through 20.
Khan, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23 and verse 19. Thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brother, usury
Right?
of money, usury of victuals, usury of anything that is lent upon usury. Unto a stranger thou mayest lend upon usury, but unto thy brother thou shalt not lend upon usury, that the Most High thy power may bless thee in all that thou settest thine hand to do in the land whither thou goest to possess it.
Khan. So we see we could wax these other nations, man. Right? We're gonna wax these other nations. So that's correct. We are gonna be implementing Torah at a time, right? At that certain dispensation of time, right? We're going to be implementing Torah, right? But right now it's time to wake up the children of Israel, right? Bring the law to the children of Israel to wake up Jacob. That's the time that we're in. There's going to be a time when they come to the mount on the top of the hill to learn the laws from the children of Israel, right? But now it's not that time, right? Right now it's time to gather the children of Israel together, man. Right? Let me pull this video back up, man.
And they're exercising that they're exercising the usury on the whole planet right now, because just like
Absolutely.
everybody already knows, they run all the industries, especially the banking industry. And you get a home loan, you get a personal loan, a business loan. The interest rate is astronomical, and
Right.
they're raping people monetarily with these practices.
Con.
Place where God can feel comfortable in this world. Imagine that you had a king and he was coming to town, or a queen, she was coming to town, and she was going to come visit your house. You want to make sure that your house is immaculate. If the queen is used to having tea and crumpets at 3 o'clock and she likes English tea, you want to make sure that at 3 o'clock there's tea and crumpets and there's English tea. A queen does not like a messy house. A queen does not like when kids are fighting. She likes peace. And that's what we have to do. We have to make this world into a more godly place, a place where God himself feels comfortable.
I don't know what Tanaki's reading, but this place is not going to become peaceful until the Most High destroys this place before he baptizes this place with fire, man. Right? I don't know what he thinks is going to happen. The Most High is not coming back and waiting for everybody to be peaceful and I come and make this place comfortable for me. No, he's coming back to destroy this place. What is this man talking about? Right? What prophecies is he reading?
He's confirming the fact that these people, he's just confirming the fact that they know nothing about the Bible and they shouldn't even have it in their hands.
Right.
Because I don't know what the hell he's talking about. We got to make the world comfortable for God.
Hey,
What?
so like, it's so irksome that you just gotta laugh about it, bro. Like, it's crazy, man. What are you saying? Go ahead, Doc.
It's a lot. I don't know what cigar he's been smoking, man. But this brother is out the loop of everything, man. He is gone.
Yeah, this man.
Right. Well, let me get the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 9. Right? He said we got to prepare the place for the Lord, for he could be comfortable. What? The Most High is preparing this place for destruction, man. What are you talking about? Right? Give me the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 9, Bible Shop, if anybody can bring that up.
Con, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13 and verse 9. Behold,
right?
the day of the Most High cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
No, I gotta make the he's gonna make this place comfortable, right? Make it to a point where you could just come lay down and be on a hammock and just be swinging all day. Right? What is he talking about?
Like
The
you
Most
have
High's
booked the
coming
Most
back.
High, like you done booked
Right.
the Most High a nice little Airbnb, and
Right. Right. Making the Most High feel comfortable, give him a little Airbnb 7 days. Come on, what are you talking about, man? There's no prophecy that reflects what this man just said, but you see, but that's pretty much the doctrine that he will be teaching the people if that's the case, right? Saying, oh, let's just come to Judaism, that's going to cleanse the world. No, that's not going to cleanse this place, man. This place got to be cleansed with fire and destruction, right? That's how this place is going to be cleansed, not by everybody following Judaism, right? That's not how that works, right? We see that. I don't see any Torah, anything in the Torah or the Tanakh that reflects or even echoes what this man just said, right? But you see, didn't really want to go into, okay, he says, well, he doesn't have a problem with Kyrie or Kanye saying that there were Jews and things like that, right? But it's very important to know who we are today. We have to know who these covenants and these promises and these blessings are for, right? So we can understand prophecy and see it for what it really is, right? It's always important when you talk about Ezekiel 38 and Gog and Magog. We want to know who those people are. When it comes to the actual children of Israel, that's not. Oh, we don't really want to get into that, right? So we understand there's actually descendants of these people that's on Earth today, and we have to recognize who they are, right? And that'll be the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? So I also wanted to jump into another video. You see Dave Chappelle. He came up with a stand-up on SNL, and they're they give him a heat over it, right? So I'm gonna play this video real quick. Fair use in the chat. Come on, let me play this right here. Let me just see, because I don't want to play the actual video. I seen Sakari did a class on it as well. They took down their video as well. So we're just gonna play pretty much the reaction. Yeah, they took down that video. I gotta see this. Yeah, he really snapped. All right, let's see what he said right here. Let's see Charles.
Get early access.
Charles wearing a dress, Barkley. Let's see what he got going on. Let's see here.
Basketball legend, NBA analyst, Mr. Charles Barkley. Good morning to you, sir. I really appreciate you joining us.
Of course, Don. Thank you guys for having me.
Why so outspoken, especially when it comes to this issue? You know, even as someone you're covering sports, but you're speaking out about issues that have to do with culture and society. Why so outspoken about this?
Well, Don, I don't like that word outspoken, because I hope anybody who sees racism in any form whatsoever should stand up, whether it's against a black person, a Hispanic person, a Jewish person, or Asian. Asian hate's going a big deal in this country right now. So anybody should try to do the right thing. If you see something wrong when it comes to race or homophobic or sexist, you should always say something. So, I'm always going to do that. I don't care about the repercussions. If I see something wrong happening, Don, I'm going to say something.
Hold on.
This nigga's a Coon. I'm sorry.
Hold on, man.
I can't stand Charles Barkley.
Yo, this man, yo.
He is reneging.
Yo, this. Oh, man. So this is what we call. So first of all, he's saying he doesn't care about the repercussions on speaking out against people that's going against other people. That doesn't make that literally doesn't make any sense, right? No, you advocate for repercussions for people speaking out against homophobia, right? You're saying that person, I'm gonna go against that person. I gotta speak against that person, right? That doesn't make any sense, man. First time watching this video, man. Let's see what this man got going on.
Two sodomites.
How do you think the league should deal with it? Because listen, he's still on suspension. But how do you think?
You see how they have our people up there. Does that mean that's
Yeah, everybody.
Con. All right, Con. I'll praise this. So, if you see this, they have our people just clean shaven, no beard. right? And we understand there's brothers and sisters that can't really, not brothers and sisters, but there's brothers that can't really grow a full beard, but they're trying. These brothers, they wake up every morning, right? Shaving, right? But they want us to look like this, right? This clean face, man. All right.
The league should deal with it. The reason I ask is because, everyone is speaking out about it. Kyrie Irving is facing, what he's facing. But the league let him go for a long time. They sort of are forcing him to apologize. But what if these are his real beliefs? Should they be dealing with that as well? Maybe they have someone who actually believes these things. I'm not saying it's right. Instead of forcing him to apologize, maybe they should be dealing with that part of it.
Actually, that's a great question, Don. People have the right to feel and say what they want to. We have freedom of speech, but there are repercussions when you say certain things. Listen, I don't know Kyrie Irving. I don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. I think he's been suspended, rightfully so, and I think he should come back and play in the NBA. But, that's a really slippery slope because, people always talk about freedom of speech, freedom of effect, or you say whatever you want to, but there are repercussions. I mean, and he's paying for that right now, but this thing with free speech has really gotten out of hand, Don. I mean, you just can't go around insulting people and think it's okay just because it's freedom of speech.
Well, people say, well, listen, if I don't get to say what I say, it's cancel culture. And I don't know if you probably do not agree with that.
I don't like using the term cancel culture because I don't want anybody counsel, but you should be called to the carpet if you said something wrong. I don't believe somebody should lose their job or things like that, but you should be called out if you said something stupid. Hey, I've been called out many times and I have no problem with that. But I hate the term cancel culture because very few people are canceled. Let's be honest and realistic.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Can I ask something real quick that I didn't think? Did you? Maybe you didn't see it, so you might not be able to answer. Did you see SNL? Did you see Dave Chappelle, his monologue?
I did not,
Yeah.
but listen. Let me just say this: I'm a Dave Chappelle fan. I have a really strict line on racism, sexism, homophobic, things like that. It's just wrong. It's nothing to joke about. It's a very serious subject. Don, it's crazy. I'm almost 60 years old, and I grew up in Alabama, and obviously I know about Montgomery, Selma, Birmingham, things like that. To still be having racial conversations 60 years later, and we're debating whether people have the right to say it and joke about it, it just makes me sad.
Yeah.
It makes me mad, but it really just makes me sad that 60 years later, we're still having racial conversations 60 years later.
And more than a decade ago, I do have to say, and then I'll let you guys jump in here because I don't want to hog the conversation. One of the first people to contact me after I came out was this man right here. And that was over a decade ago. So these issues are really important to you, and you always stand up for people's individual rights.
Well, Don, first of all, one thing that always has disturbed me as a Black person, which really bothers me about the Kyrie Irving situation and the Kanye West situation, first of all, being Black in America is already hard enough. And for us to go at other ethnic groups just makes things worse because it's hard enough being Black. And one thing has always disappointed me, Black people treat gay people, we are the worst when it comes to treating gay people. And that's one thing growing up, it really always bothers me. And I want to reach out to you and all my gay friends, all my transgender friends, and tell you, man, I got nothing but love and respect for you. I want
This nigga.
Yo, man.
Salakia. This man is a sodomite. I told you. 2 sodomites. I told you. First of all, you got to look at this. This man, I grew up watching this man. Like I'm from that era, watching this man play basketball, right? So you got to listen to his backstory. First, he said he grew up in Alabama. This is classic. What do you call it? PTSD? Not PTSD. What is it called? When you love your what is that?
When you pretty much
Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm.
This is a classic case of Stockholm syndrome. This man grew up in Alabama, right, with Selma and civil rights, and all of this stuff took place during his time, right? And because he's a little younger than my father went through all of that stuff, right? So he married a white woman, right? So a lot of people don't know that he married a white woman, right? And he's talking about how he got homosexual friends and transsexual friends, and he was the first one to reach out to Don Lemon when he no real. And he also made another statement, right, which lets you know that we are God's chosen people, because he said, especially how black people treat homosexuals. Why? Because it's
Bring
in
that
our
up.
spirit, and we
Right.
know that it's wrong. That's why we so hard on it, because in our spirit we know it's wrong, right? So you looking at this man he's destroyed, right? And this is why they put men like him on a pedestal, because they know he gonna ride for the for Esau. He not gonna ride for his people, right? He go hard on his people almost just as bad as Esau. They'd be like, no, we just put Charles up there. Coon.
But y'all, God, it's crazy, Cap, because it's like I'm listening to what he's saying, and literally everything that we advocate for, he's literally against.
Right.
Right. Literally, like we advocate for, a family to be built, right, and things like that. Loving your nation only, dealing with your nation. He's just against all that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
He's literally said, yo, I hate when my people go against the alphabet community.
Right.
Brother, if you're so mad about us going against the alphabet community, why don't you join the alphabet community? He might be.
Because he probably
already
is
in
already.
there. He probably in there already. Right. So this is crazy, because he's literally just hating every single thing that we go against. Oh, I hate when they talk about that. Yeah, for homophobic and sexism and trans, all this other stuff. He's saying he hates when we go against that. Right? This is why the scriptures talk about woe, who put let me get that right. Woe unto them that call
evil good, evil.
Right. Con. Let me get Con. Let me see that right quick. Con, it's a classic precept. Where is that?
Slucky. I got you. Oh shucks. Oh wait a minute. Oh, hold on.
Con, Isaiah 5:20. I got it. Con. I'm looking at everything that we literally teach against. This man saying, I hate you for teaching against it. Right? That literally makes no sense. Right? Like we're all
supposed to never walk past us.
Right, for real, man. It's crazy, because it's like, yo, you don't disagree with anything. You feel me? Like, you just don't everything's all cool. Just don't say nothing about it. Everybody's like all one. Right.
Like
Con.
that's what he like.
Con, let me get that at Baba Gashar, Isaiah 5:20, King.
Con, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 5, and verse, what is it?
20.
Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
Right. That's all this man's doing. Right. He's calling evil good. Right. That's the doctrine of the world right there. That's like you said, that's the perfect candidate. Put Charles up there. Let him talk about it.
What are you talking about? I'm a big fan of Dave Chappelle, but I hate it when, I don't like it when I can't stand when people talk against homosexuals and transgenders and trans testicles and transformers. You nasty.
Right. You saying, no, I love Jay Chappelle, but not when he talking about my people. And when I say my people, I'm talking about my alphabet people. Right? That's all he's saying. That's insane,
super suspect, man. That Don Lemon put that boy out there. He said, because as soon as he said, when I came out the closet, you was one of the first people to call me. Like, give me a call.
Right. For what though? Like, what do they do? What do you say? Like, he probably was. What do you say? Like, what do you say to him? Like, like, what do you just call him and? Right, Donna.
Even turn out the closet let you know that you know it's wicked. You know it's wicked. You're in the closet with it. It's wrong.
Right. Donna's probably like, when's your turn, brother? Right. Like, what do you? I mean, what's the point of that? I mean, what are you supporting, man? Right. That's wicked.
I want you to be you. And I wanted you to know that day, because I understand being black, what it's like being gay, because you get mistreated.
Wait.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
Wait. Whoa. Pump
Hey,
the brakes
yo.
there, bro.
Hey, yo. He said it, brother. Hey,
He
yo.
said it. He let it out.
I know what
Hold
it's
on,
like to
what?
be black, and I know what it's like to be gay. Hey, yo,
Man.
son. Pause, B.
Hold on. That's a foul. That's a flagrant. Hold on.
That right there is a
Transgender
technical
friend,
foul.
and tell you, man, I got nothing but love and respect for you. I want you to be you. And I wanted you to know that day, because I understand being black, what it's like being gay, because you get mistreated, and it's really unfortunate and sad.
Hey, we need to cut that clip, and we need to make a loop,
A meme?
a TikTok.
Right. Hold on, brother.
Show itself, huh? Spirit gonna show itself. That's it.
Right, God. That is insane, man.
Sad and stupid, to be honest with you.
Charles, you mentioned your home state of Alabama. We both share
Thank
that.
you for that, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, that's a lovely. I'm glad you pointed that out. Obviously, you're an Auburn
Hey, yo, man, this is just weird, man.
fan. I'm an Alabama fan, so we disagree there. But you live in Arizona now, and I wonder what you make of the election results that we've been talking about.
All right, so they deterred, right? They deterred the conversation. Now they talking about the elections, right? The presidential selections, right? These people don't get elected; they get selected, right? But we're not getting to that. But you see what's happening here, man. This is just madness. This is just madness, right? They going together. You can see it online, right? This man said something about I'm kind of watching that. But it's just crazy, man. It's crazy. This truth is going out. This truth is going out. We waking up our people, right? The Most High is allowing us to teach this truth, right? Where no man can gainsay, right? Let me get the book of Luke, chapter 21, Baba Gashar. The book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 15, because it's just truth that we're going to be teaching to our people. They're not going to be able to gainsay, right? The prophecies, the events, right? That's going to come to pass. Salaki, Luke 21 and 15, Khan. These prophecies that come to pass, Salaki.
This the book.
1 second. The prophecies that come to pass, they're going to be able to identify who the real children of Israel are. And when we start to tell our people who we are, that we're the chosen people of God, right? Nobody's going to be able to gainsay that. Khan, you can read that, King.
Khan, this is the book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 15. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist.
Right? So they're not going to be able to gainsay nor resist the things that we're teaching, right? Bringing out the truth, the historical facts of us being the children of Israel, right? God's chosen people, right? And it's a beautiful thing. We're in these times right now where, we're in the age of information, right? So, a lot of our people, some people are going to wake up to this truth. Some people are not, right? All we can do is just stay diligent, right? Keep the faith of the Most High, teach our people this truth, right? And wake our people up, right? So, I'm going to just plug in a couple different videos. If brothers have any closing statements, I'll just plug in the, different videos here, things like that. So, also, everybody that tunes in, we just secured a van. Now we're working to, get a school. So, we definitely appreciate everybody's donations. Continue to Cash App. Let me just pull up the Cash App right quick. Cash App $7 to LOZLeeCounty. Let me pull it up right quick.
Keep the $7 drive alive.
Keep the $7 drive alive. All right, Cash App LOZ $ LOZLeeCounty. All right, Cash App $7, Cash App $5, Cash App $3, right? But we try to push this truth to wake up the children of Israel and to build that little sanctuary for our people, right? All praise to the Most High. Continue to subscribe to all the channels. We got our brothers from Augusta, doing the work, teaching this word. Headquarters, Mighty Brothers teaching the word. We got HQ headquarters. We got MDC. We got powerful priests, Levites. Out of MDC teaching the word. We got, the different channels, Lumiere, Dizion, IET, right? The Light of Zion, in Haiti that's being built up right now. All praise to the Most High. If you guys want to contact us, we have our Slaki. That's not us right here. Hold on. If you guys want to contact us, definitely, hit our email, contact our phone number for prayers, prayers, concerns, donations. Continue to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the post notifications, so we can continue to, push this truth. I'll praise to everybody that, tune into the Shabbat service. We do appreciate everybody that continues to tune in and that likes, comments, and subscribes. I pray that everybody stays in the spirit, continue to be sober and vigilant, for the adversary, Hashatan, walketh about seeking who he may devour. So let's just stay in the spirit, saying that spiritual gem, and stay on fire for the Most High. And with that, this is Captain Kyron from Lead Out of Zion. I say shalom to the 12 tribes of Israel, and death and destruction to Babylon.
Khan.
Shalom.
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 Shalom. Shalom, family.